All right, welcome back. Last couple of days in our last session, or well, not we, but you decided to travel to Raven Rock to unearth some stolen giant relics as tribute. So the Oracle of the Temple of the Allfather may help divine where your next move will be in decapitating the giant leadership in their various quests to prove themselves in this new ordning. Right now, you flew around with some magical flight, saw the Raven Rock in an altar that had a bunch of phases of the moon. You saw a giant raven, and a series of tragic events have led to this raven's death and the magical flight of Creek somehow ending as he crashes to the ground with a big Minecraft oof.
I always
I
thought
thought
it
it
was
was
Roblox.
Roblox.
That's the joke.
No.
What?
Let's get to
I get
Grave
it.
Robin.
Damn it,
I
it's
ain't
gotta be
laughing, but
Roblox.
I
Y'all
mean,
ever play
who's
RuneScape?
got
Nope.
the shovel?
All right,
Creek is
I'm
the
not.
shovel.
I'm not feeling.
Creek
so
is
good.
the shovel.
Yes.
That'll get the Raven to like him.
God, I have to read the rules of using another character as an item.
That was probably
it does
done.
2d4 damage.
It's right in the
remember our
section under how to mount your friends.
So remember, this is our cross motto from all campaigns. It's not expressly non-consent if they're unconscious.
Oh yeah.
Right.
No, I
Jesus.
believe it's if they are unconscious,
They're
they're
willing.
treated as willing. By the way, when I believe last session you said that I felt sick. Does that translate to the sickened condition, or
No,
does
you
that
just feel like your stomach has literally dropped underneath you, which is appropriate considering the 100-foot fall you just experienced.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Like you didn't break any
based on
bones.
based on the skin of my token, I appear to already have like brownish greenish skin, but I'm feeling a little green around the gills.
You have gills? God, bugbears are terrifying.
Anyways, which one do we start with? I mean, can we
distinguishing, like signs or anything on them?
On the what?
On the cairns?
No, the cairns are all pretty much uniform. There's like a small opening in the front of all of them. Might be able to glean some information if you go inside, but other than that, none of them really stand out amongst each other.
so remind me, what are we searching for here?
Club
Again, was it
and-
the tooth or?
Club
No, it's,
and the hula
ring.
hoop?
Ring or club.
There is a ring, a magma ring, and then there is supposedly a giant great club. A
Okay,
bone great club.
then question: can I inspect the Raven Rock to find out what material it's made out of?
Yes. Roll me an investigation.
Okay.
I'll go with you.
Da-da. 10.
Rock
Mind if I
seems
give it a
to be
crack?
made of. Yeah, go ahead. You believe the rock seems to be made of stone.
Okay.
Can I try digging a little bit beneath the rock to investigate a bit further down? Not like super far, but just to like see if the rock goes all the
How
goes.
much can Creek desecrate this place?
Let's
Yes,
find
you
out
can,
today
however,
on.
be advised that there is permafrost on the ground, so it will.
I have no fucking
Okay.
clue
You
what's
think
going
it's a-
on right
Well,
now.
of course
Alright,
you
alright,
don't. You're all the way over there, Shao.
I'll just get at what I'm getting at, which is I think I have a guess that the rock is the club.
Remember the scale of this map. That rock is 50 feet long.
And
and you know,
I mean, it's a
Raven
great
Rock,
club,
it's
but I don't
100
think-
feet tall.
okay, maybe a bit,
One
maybe
giant
my
giant.
scale of the map. Like
Hey,
But
giants
to,
are big, but I don't think they're that big.
to answer your question about digging, there is permafrost on the ground, so it does kind of impede digging, but you
Okay.
can still get through it with a little time and effort.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Well,
into
my
one of
theory's
these
kind of put to
cairns.
dust, so I'm just gonna head on back.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go into the cairn like to the left of me to see if I can find some stuff.
Sure. You enter the cairn and you see a small little mound of permafrost earth, but nothing else inside.
Honestly, I doubt it would be buried with any person in here, considering, Giants Great Club. We could expect it to be at least, like 15, maybe 20 feet long?
It could pretty much have a cairn all its own if it was in a cairn, but
Yeah.
but you have to reason you wouldn't bury a non-living thing. So,
Well, that too. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying it wouldn't be
or at least you wouldn't be a
buried
mausoleum.
because of the size and the difficulty of digging in ice, and also it would have to be either in a cairn of its own, so it'd be easy to see, or it might be one of these men here. That's a possibility.
I will remind you that Harshnag relayed when he was drawing these maps is these things were taken because they were all in some sort magical or significant in some sort of way.
Hey, Maradi, guess what you're doing?
Okay, I'll go ahead and. Will you let me spend 10 minutes to do it as a ritual, or are we gonna be impatient?
I don't
I'm
have a
okay with
problem
waiting
that.
10 minutes unless
Okay,
Creek's gonna
then-
start puking his guts
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna go ahead and do detect magic as a ritual.
Hey,
Okay.
want to take a look my way also?
Now the issue is, based on the scale, you can only search one square a turn.
Okay, yeah. If you're willing to wait 10 minutes, 10 minutes will pass. The snow is a little cold and uncomfortable, but you can concentrate through it. There's nothing too.
Well, if it's warm climes you want, just step into a cairn. It's a natural windbreaker.
Are you going to look at Creek as per his
Yeah, I'll
request?
look at Creek first.
Yeah, there's some magic around him, but you do recall the last time you cast. Wait, did you ever cast detect magic? I think you did as a spell, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
it
he
was
pointed
to,
it at
There's
Creek.
it's all divination. Even your allies
Oh,
have divination
right.
around them,
Yeah,
except for Mateus.
yeah, except for
Right.
Mateus because of the Geas. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think we get to know all spells on people, but that is
you
fair.
get to know a magical aura.
okay,
And
so it's
everybody's radiating divination.
okay.
And exclusively divination?
Everyone's radiating divination.
Okay.
I think it's the strongest thing.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah. But I mean, we've got 10 minutes to search, so
So yeah, then I'll
how
start just.
long would it take us to search each of these areas, just kind of sweeping through with detect magic until he finds something?
I'd say it would take about 10 minutes for you to search each of the Cairn areas.
Okay,
But
so
while
4 of them.
while he's detecting or like prepping to detect magic, I'm gonna just search through them to see if anything like catches my
The whole
eye.
reason I'm doing this is so you don't have to desecrate the care.
Well, I'm not desecrating it. I'm
We can
just
just look
checking.
You're
inside.
digging them out. You're
No, I'm not.
desecrating
I'm
them.
not digging them out. I'm looking into them.
They have
It's a peek.
entrances.
Just the
I
peak.
I heard. Let's start digging, and I'm gonna start looking into them. And so
No, that's
you-
'cause
you
Creek's
can't
an
blame me
idiot.
for thinking
I
that.
didn't
then
say anything.
I'm gonna
about
start
that.
digging and looking into them.
Remember, Creek has a concussion from his fall. You can't be certain he knows where he is right now.
I'm going to forget everything in a few minutes.
If possible, I want to
Creek's-
try and get to the altar and inspect it a bit closer too.
That'll take you about 10 minutes worth of travel, so the 3 of them
Sure.
can search the Cairns while you make your way over.
The 2 of us. Unless we wait the 10 minutes for Maradi to do the detect
No,
magic. And
What?
then
we
the
don't
3
need to
of us.
do anything during that. So I'm using the 10 minutes of the detect magic to get to the altar.
Okay. And then yeah, so duration, concentration. All right.
So yeah, as I'm like walking around the cairns with detect magic going, do I sense anything?
In this immediate area, no, you don't really sense anything with your magic. Detect magic.
Okay, so it's not in this side of the cairns.
Okay.
Detect magic will deactivate after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll truncate until you've tried to search this area pretty thoroughly without
Okay.
desecrating any Cairns.
Perfect.
Thank you for
Entering
not
them
having
is,
us
entering
make.
them is not an offense, but definitely don't dig around them unless you say you want to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just like
Um,
looking around them. Seeing if there's
As I'm
anything
making
that's-
my way to, we do have a little rope bridge, whatever, to these ones, right?
Yes.
You
those
are.
the
I
red
think you are connected to all of them.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah,
we
that
have a
should
way
have
to
been
each
how
of
it
them
worked.
because remember this little bit here is 15 feet wide, so
Mhm.
you can just walk
You can
up.
shimmy.
to this.
Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I know.
You don't even need to
that.
shimmy. That's 15 feet.
Hey, they could be thick.
But I'll
Crabwalk.
make my way over to the altar, and just for the hell of it, since it's on the way, do some detect magicking over here.
I'll follow along.
As another ritual.
Yeah.
So that'll take about 20 minutes, like 10 minutes to walk, and then 10 minutes for another detect magic.
Mhm.
What is
Okay.
this right here?
It
That
looks
is
to me
a
like a
large
bench.
femur. Well, it's a large bone.
Huh.
Hmm,
Oh, actually, no,
large?
that is one.
That's
that
a
is
raven roost.
Yeah, it's a raven roost.
Okay. Is
Looks
it
like
made out
bone,
of
sorry.
bone?
No, it's like, well,
It looks like a cartoon bone.
yeah. I'd imagine there'd be bones around it, considering that the ravens
Ravens,
eat whatever's brought here.
Well, not anymore.
Well, yeah. It is kind of odd that there would only be one raven when there's 5 whole roosts, so...
We probably should hurry up here.
But yes, after another 10 minutes, you can cast Detect Magic, and this altar, more specifically a little bit underneath the altar, is radiating some form of magic.
Oh dear. Do we know what
Let
type?
me see what is underneath.
Now you're gonna tell us what's underneath?
It's...
I'll be right back 1 second. Someone's at the door.
Good. This will give me time to see what School of Magic
Figure out
this
what
is.
the heck is going on.
So,
What would this
everyone
radiate?
sports?
Sports
Yeah,
ball.
yeah. Did you see that ludicrous display last night?
They throw the ball.
The hell are you
Why
talking about? We're
did the
talking
ball
about
go?
soccer. I guess the goalie throws the ball.
I heard that Soldier Boy made 2 game consoles.
I heard he Superman that hoe once.
Soldier Boy. Why are we discussing this?
You.
I mean, you're right. I did bring up sports, but
Okay. All right. I think I got it. So whenever
Okay.
Jordan comes back, I'll.
just
reveal
tell
the
us.
secret.
We'll.
It's enchantment.
Okay. Interesting.
Enchantment.
Do we know what a magma ring is? Like, what is it? A ring made out of magma, or is it do something special?
Let me. Bolt.
Guys,
Yes.
Yes.
so a little bit of emergency. Need to help out my neighbor. She's hearing some noises in the house, and she had some eye surgery recently. So I'm gonna go
Okay.
help her real quick. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but yeah. So I'm just gonna be out for a bit. Real sorry about that.
No problem.
No
Go
worries.
get it done. Don't be a hero.
Okay.
Wait,
dear.
you're white.
I don't know when I'll be back, so I'll just disconnect
All
for
right.
now.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
I without giving away too much, I'm fairly confident you can get through at least this map without Marathi.
Okay. Well, we can continue if he doesn't come back. We can always call it a little early, but
And you can also use him as a proxy in case you want, like, say, hey, we should do something.
he's our minesweeper now. He's just gonna be detect magicking, walking forward, and turning 45 degrees.
Beep.
Did we ever make a way to cross this area, like to the altar?
No, not to the altar. I mean, we might be able to just climb. Creek, go. You're a climby boy.
Yeah. Wait. Go up to the altar.
So a magma ring is literally just a ring made out of solidified magma.
Okay. But if it is one of their artifacts, we can expect it to be magical some way. We just don't know what type.
Yes.
I mean, this altar itself is about 16 feet across.
Best way to do it would be to measure from down here. If this is to scale, it's like 30 feet up. Oh yeah, this seems to be to scale down here. I'm assuming this is the altar, because the cairns are 1 tier up. So he just have to climb a 30-foot incline. That's not the worst.
Oh no, I mean like the altar itself is 16 feet across, which means that it's a huge altar.
It's a pretty big altar, yeah. Like this
So
might
I'm
be like
wondering
a
if-
sacrificial altar.
Yeah.
Yes, and on the altar you can clearly see the phases of the moon.
Even from the length
would my
that we're
nat-
at.
Like, would I naturally know what, where in the cycle of the moon is currently?
Never end a sentence with a preposition.
I would say because of the time you've been traveling since Nightstone, you've been outside a lot. You could probably determine that it's about springtime, so the moon is waxing. Not completely full yet, but kind of an intermediate phase of any of these phases.
Okay.
You don't see any of the animal sacrifices you saw on the Raven Rock, though. One seems a little more clean.
Okay. Is it possible to do a history on how the moon relates to the Uthgarts?
I will give you a history to check about the various tribes of the Uthgard.
Sure.
Nothing really.
think they're
I mean,
they're made out of
You'd think it's really weird because the Uthgards only treasure the sun, so this is like a blasphemous altar.
No, they're worshipping the cheese moon.
Exactly. The cheese.
13 history.
There are a lot of different tribes. You have a feeling that Raven Rock may not be home to just Uthgard barbarians who worship ravens. With the moon, you could think that there's some sort of a lunar or lupine connection from this altar to the barbarians.
Interesting.
So, who wants to possibly fight zombie werewolves?
I mean, I'm already cursed at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Terrific.
I want to bunk away from Creek the next full moon.
I become a were-raven?
If I'm not mistaken, were-ravens might actually be okay.
I don't even know.
Anyway,
if that's a thing.
So would what is is all this like just permafrost? Like really
Creek
hard to
doesn't
dig
know
through?
either. I just know either. It is permafrost. If you have a shovel, you should be able to work your way underneath it, though.
Well, it's more of like, would I be able to shoot the ground and get the air to actually stick?
Yeah, normal. I mean, that all depends on the strength of your. I would say that because it's permafrost, it's not ice. It will stick, but if you pull out your arrowhead, it's not gonna look like it hit like dirt or anything. Just more ice.
I think he's just trying to make a bridge.
Exactly. Like, if it would be able to carry someone's weight.
Wait, you're trying to see if you can make a load-carrying bridge by firing an arrow?
Well, no, so he's going to tie a rope to the arrow, and then just kind of try and do a secure line between the altar.
Right, but you don't
mountain.
realize that the entirety, the load-bearing element would be whatever that arrow is made out of, right?
Yep.
Okay, just
Or
making
if
sure
need
you all know that.
be, I can make an arrow staircase.
Again, then you would be using the arrow as the load bearing of a person. I think it's better to just have Creek climb. It's a 30-foot climb. I think you can do it. Especially since it's not sheer.
Yeah,
And
it's
worst
not,
comes to worst.
It seems by design not to be a really ridiculous climb.
Worst comes to worst, we can use Marathi to levitate and then use your strategy to pull him over like a hot air balloon.
Right,
until he's over the altar, then we tell Marathi to make him descend like a robot. But I'm comfortable with him climbing. I say as I sit here and start manicuring my fingernails.
Sipping hot cocoa.
So do you want to climb or should I?
I'll do it.
Well, really, who has the better athletics?
If athletics is strength, it's probably me.
We found out you were pretty even on strength before, because you don't have much strength. So
no, but I do have proficiency in it, so I have a +5.
Okay, so there you go. Good God, you have a +2 to strength?
Yep.
Not gonna kink shame, but
weird flex, but okay.
You're kink shame.
All right, give me a climb check.
You mean athletics climb?
Sure. Yeah, he's easily able to dig in his heels and kick some footholds into the frost and make his way up.
All right, so we're at the altar.
Right.
Now, there's some type of magic. Did it seem to be an aura of magic or emanating from an item?
Emanating from an item.
Interesting. And it was under the altar, not the altar itself.
It seemed to come from underneath the altar.
Okay, interesting.
I think you might have to dig.
I need a shovel, though.
Oh, shit. That's where I was supposed to read it. Okay, it's not enhancement. Sorry, it was conjuration.
You mean enchantment?
No, I
Same
don't.
thing.
I mean transmutation.
Oh.
Oh,
God.
you said enhancement just now, but we get it.
Yeah. So it's
Conjuration.
transmutation or conjuration.
It is transmutation.
Okay.
Underneath this altar.
Interesting.
Touch it.
Oh,
I mean,
don't
nothing
like where
bad
this is
happens from transmutation.
I place my palm on the altar.
Nothing happens.
Hooray! I've done my job. Time to
The
go
altar
home.
feels cold.
Just like everything.
I'm going to-
including my heart.
I'm going to whisper to Marathi, so what animal do you think he'll become? And then be sad as Marathi vacantly stares back at me.
As if the soul was robbed from his body.
I thought you guys were saying be content going, I like the new quieter you.
It's just not the same. He
I
knew
I
how
could
to
try
drive a
toss
carriage.
A shovel to him, but
Just overhand throw it. Go.
it's
You need
30
that.
feet.
I think that's well beyond the range of a shovel.
I can grab it at 10 extra feet.
That's a fair point. He can reach 10 feet. Can he reach
no,
across
10
the...
feet total, so.
He can almost reach across the chasm and just...
Do I have to make a strength check to
Are we
toss him a shovel?
actually doing this? Here, Shao, why don't you just come over at this point?
At this point, let's inspect the altar, because if it's underneath, it might be inside. There might be a way to open the altar instead of having to smash it open or dig
Alright,
into it.
while they're making their way over, I'd like to do an investigation.
Alright, roll investigation.
Athletics. Okay,
I
I'm up.
found nothing.
I assume we make some type of rope system
There doesn't
to...
seem to be any visible way into the altar. It also seems like the altar is made of a solid piece of stone.
Whoops.
You've
I
inspected
clicked
the
the
altar.
wrong one.
I'm now afraid of you. Good job.
Can I keep
Come
that 19, please, instead?
Because you haven't claimed any roll, I will say that you can bank that for your next roll.
I was going to click investigation, which would have made it an 18, but I clicked intimidation,
Alright,
which was right
but-
above.
Okay. If you're getting 18 on investigation, yes, it's not hollow or anything. You can like smack it pretty soundly. It doesn't make any kind of an echoing sound.
Pretty soundly doesn't.
Flaps the top of the altar. This bad boy could fit so much stone inside of it. But
Does it seem movable?
not
Or
by
any
you.
type of hinge?
No, there's no. It seems like it's a pretty singular piece of rock,
Hmm.
carved over a long time to create its shape.
I mean, I could shatter it as the spell. That wouldn't end badly, right?
What is this? The Crusades? You're just gonna go out and just like.
Destroy
Oh no, clearly this
artifacts,
is the
kill
fall of
sacred
Rome. These are
ravens.
barbarians.
I mean, by name they are. But so is Greek, because he don't speak Greek.
Can I touch each of the phases of the moon just to like?
Yeah, sure. Well, you can't reach the ones at the top unless
It's
you
just that
climb
tall.
on top of the thing.
Oh yeah, how tall is this altar? Like,
The altar is.
because I think we're thinking like an altar going up to our waist, but based on the map, this
Ah.
thing might be like
Of,
6 to 7 feet
Of
tall.
all the things that gave me measurements, it didn't actually say how tall the altar is. Almost as if
30
it's not
feet
significant.
tall. But it's marked on the map. Ah well.
Yes, but the magic is coming from inside the house. I mean, underneath the altar.
Well, I guess we can start digging since now I have a shovel with that is it. where the
Just suddenly
altar is.
have a shovel.
Oh
Conjure
no,
a shovel.
I
we
mean,
have someone with a shovel, so I guess I'm start digging unless Creek wants to.
I mean, it doesn't
we have
really matter
no
much, does it?
alternative, and honestly, transmutation, a localized transmutation item might fit one of these items, so
All right,
go for it.
Fuck it, I'll start digging.
Okay, you will start digging. 5 minutes go by and you've barely dented the surface of the ground.
Hmm.
20 minutes go by and you've made I'd say about a hand-sized depth of the ground.
Tell me when I can make a snow fort.
Hold up. Before any more time passes, I'm going to point out this is clearly not working. Perhaps we should consider another method, whether by trying to melt and then dig, using either our brains or some of our spells.
Shell has gone through the permafrost. He's now in the dirt, which is now frozen.
Okay, so
The permafrost. It probably took him about 10 minutes to get through the permafrost, and now he's pretty much in dirt. But again, frozen, very tough to dig through.
Should I just nail it with a shatter? It would probably help.
All right, fine.
The stone or the dirt?
Either.
Both.
I mean, I could probably make a case for either.
I'm gonna step back for this one.
I know Shatter has a range and like a radius. I want to say.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
I can just link it now as if I were casting it. That Scorching Ray.
Yeah, you don't want to fire one of those. I don't think. I mean,
actually,
you could
fire
heat
it
up
at the
snow.
Okay. Assuming I cast it, that's what it does.
Thunder damage in a field save.
Really, it comes down to the non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried takes damage as if it's in the spell's area. Or if it's in the spell's area.
Well, I mean, you can certainly throw Shatter out there.
The question is, do I think it's worth it, guys?
I'd say would shattering the frozen dirt work, and B.
I think it might only affect the altar, but that's just if we want to commit to breaking the altar. There's no magic on the altar itself.
Let me give you one bit of advice with the rules that are as written, because you know about detect magic. Detect magic only senses magic within 30 feet. That also includes underground. It is blocked by 3 feet of wood or dirt.
So really, it has to be at least. So we're probably getting relatively close to it because it has to be within that 3 feet boundary of dirt. Which, that is a fair point. I had forgotten about the limiters there. So I guess you guys can just keep digging and maybe we'll find it eventually. But because you'd gotten
out here. Let's do this.
You'd gotten what, like 4 or 5 inches in? That's almost done, right? And Creek, start helping him.
I don't have a shovel.
You not have one? You have a sword. And honestly, if it is frozen dirt, it might be better to use a pickaxe.
Okay, that I do have. Because that comes to the standard adventurers kits, or explorers pack rather, I think, right? Quick look at the explorers pack.
Now start working.
Crack that whip. All right.
Bad.
You weren't expecting us to do this, did you?
Nope. That is that does not contain a pickaxe.
Fuck's sake.
I guess I'm doing this by myself.
I mean, I can take a javelin and like help break up the dirt.
I can consider that aiding, I guess. It's just gonna take a while. So, after an hour after you first hit the shovel to the ground, you find like something that's not frozen dirt and rock.
Oh,
we hit a piece of bone.
Okay, we're leaving.
Big piece of bone.
Actually, no. Wait, I had forgotten.
We have Maradi charge up another detect magic.
At the very tip of the bone, you also see that there's some old leather clinging to it.
That's not right.
Perhaps a bone weapon?
All right. Let's continue digging.
We try. I guess we try and clear it out.
Okay.
We're not very smart about this.
By the way.
No, you're doing this exactly how the book would think you're doing it.
I am shocked.
I'm not.
Give me a guess of how long do you think it'll take to get this thing out?
Well, it depends on how big it is.
That's true. You know that a giant would have used it.
It's pretty damn big.
Well, how far have we dug down?
You dug down about 2.5 feet before you start seeing the bone.
It's going to take us about 8 hours to get... No.
Can we shrink this thing somehow?
12 hours.
How exactly do you plan on doing that?
You're the magician.
I mean, it is magical. Try laying a hand on it. Maybe we can figure out how it's magical.
I touch the butt. And by the butt, I mean the butt of the weapon.
You know it's magic. But other than that, you can't really glean anything else from it.
Okay, I was
okay.
hoping it might have resized like your
Yeah,
armor, but
I was thinking the same thing.
No such luck.
yeah.
It's
Well,
gonna
I
take us
mean-
about 12 hours to
I
dig
give
this
it. I
thing
give
out.
it a tug. Does it have any give whatsoever?
Hold on. I believe Marathi can try to identify this, and I have his character sheet.
You can actually
Okay,
roll for him even.
interesting. Fuck.
I haven't seen it yet. Oh, there it is, a 7. Oh,
Well, he has
Yeah,
bonuses.
no, he doesn't. He has a 0 in
The
Arcana.
fuck? I thought bards got like bonuses, like
Doesn't he have
proficiencies
goat?
and non-proficient.
Or Jote, that's what it's called. Jack of all trades.
If
He might have traded it out.
here it is, Jack of all trades. Half your proficiency bonus run down.
Okay, so
So-
1.
That is
Okay.
an 8,
That's a whopping 8.
Yeah.
which still doesn't quite make the mustard.
Got us to bombarded. Pretty good D&D
Wait,
podcast.
To be fair, I'm pretty
If I
much
touch it, would I
role-playing
be able
Marathi perfectly
to
at this point.
identify? Like, would I be able to, or is it a spell that he's using?
It's because he could detect its magic with this, because he has detect magic. Well, actually, no, he doesn't,
No.
because it took you an hour to get through that.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is while they keep digging, I'm gonna spend an hour resting with my hand on it.
How many items are you attuned to?
I am attuned to 1, I believe.
How many? And I
It's
believe you
3
have
total.
One more. Okay.
I'm not attuning
Okay.
to it. Remember, you can use an hour to just identify something. It's
Oh, you paid a smartass tax, sir.
oh.
Because as they're digging and you spend an hour attuning to it, the weapon will magically shrink and take you with it.
So
You start
I'm
plowing through 14 feet of frozen dirt.
Oh,
wait, shrink or start traveling?
The weapon itself is trying to size itself to your size, but it's
Oh,
not
so
budging
since
from
it's
all the
pulling-
dirt. So you're
okay.
it's going on the path of least resistance. You're getting pulled into the dirt.
So, I see.
I'll give
Aha.
you one reaction to let go with a deck save.
Well.
Mm.
I'm going to inspire that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to. Do I get a reaction or is this my reaction?
This is the reaction.
Okay.
You mean the inspiration?
No. Like, because I can use a reaction to add a d4 or subtract a
Oh,
d4
sorry,
to
no,
a
you don't
save.
get that. But
Hey, Marathi, can you.
your senses do avail you, and you're able to release your grip on it before it sends you all the way down. So, you know it resizes to whoever who attunes to it, but you got to get it out.
all right. Well,
Okay.
Now it's human-sized, and 10 feet. You can see a hole that goes to at least 10 feet into the dirt.
Is it?
To be fair, I
is
never
it
said
on
I was
incline?
attuning to it. I said I was identifying it with the hour.
Uh-huh.
Straight up,
is it
look
on
up-
an
look up
incline?
attuning to an
Smartass
item.
tax.
No, I said that from the beginning that I wanted to identify
regardless,
with
I
an
just put a
hour,
pipe
but yeah.
Down, dig it into the dirt and go fetch it.
Okay.
I need to ask: is this on an incline so that I can slide down the hole?
Not that big.
Aww.
You would certainly get stuck if you tried to throw yourself into that hole.
All right. Well,
Well, with the hole it's already made, it'll at least make the work a little easier.
yeah.
Well,
5
at the
hours
very
pass
least,
as you
if
dig your
if
way
I'm
down.
attuned, what does it do? I know it intrinsically.
You know it magically shrinks to the size that a creature can wield effectively. It's considered a magic weapon that deals an extra 2d8 bludgeoning damage whenever it hits a dragon.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ, that's pretty nice.
Is it just is it like a plus anything Great Club on its own?
Usually
It
the
is a non-magic. It is considered a non-magic club, but this one is considered a magic weapon that does that effect. So
Yeah.
it's always a magic weapon, and it does bonus damage against dragons.
Okay.
yeah, kind of like how the flame tongue sword just
You
did an
know,
extra 2d6 fire. Nothing
This
else.
might come in handy if ever we meet those dragon lovers. God.
I mean, you're right, but at the
But
same
we'd
time,
also
I'm
be fighting that dragon.
yeah. You don't become well known and infamous in an area with followers who believe you're God while being in a position where we could fight them.
All
True,
right,
but
so
if he ever
are
comes
we?
for us while we have this thing, it might be good for someone who can use it to attune to it, aka Big Man McLarge legs.
Well, of course, I'm not gonna
Big
keep
large
attuned to
arms,
this
thank you
because
very
I
much.
did. It's like I was just trying to figure out what the hell this thing was and if we could use it to get out.
All right, so Approximately how long would it take to dig down to that damn thing?
5 hours.
Yeah, you've already done it. It took 5 hours.
It took 5 hours, so we just kind of been arguing about this the whole way down.
The entire time, Shao's just been like, dig, 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 dig.
Well, no, Shal's been yelling at me. Creek's been just dig, dig, dig.
I'm the one with the
Had been
shovel.
Dig, dig, dig.
I'm yelling and shoveling.
Actually, Is it possible? Can I spend? This might be a little out of the way, and feel free to say no. But can I just take the shovel from Shao, spend a rage, and just go at it like full ham? to try
No,
and shorten
because
the
you
amount of
have to
dig
be
time?
attacked or attack to maintain a
attacking
rage.
us.
I
I'm
throw
attacking
darts at
hard.
him. I throw darts at him every round.
How many rounds of rage do you have?
Well, it's one rage in an hour, I think.
Rage, I think, lasts indefinitely until he doesn't get attacked or attacks.
Let me double check. Rage is bonus action.
Oh, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, 1 minute? Never mind. That's not worth it.
Yeah, considering it's gonna take you 5 hours without
Yeah.
it.
No, never mind. If I thought it was an hour and that would end, but
That'd be
it's
kind of ridiculous.
well, but it also ends if you aren't attacked. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, well.
You
well,
also have to long rest before you can rage again, so yeah.
well, he has a certain number of rages, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I
I'll
don't
just keep digging.
do that.
All right.
Probably
Once I
wise.
get to the bottom and get the thing, I'm going to make sure that I had a Python installed to the side here before doing any of that.
Yeah,
That was awkwardly syntaxed.
Because I have bad speech, okay?
bad words.
Let's just go with that.
I'll lower a rope down to him.
Yeah. Or yeah, what I'll do is as he's digging the hole, actually, or this could be reversed. It doesn't really matter. I tie up the we tie up some pythons and some rope.
Since we're spending 5 hours here digging this hole, can we have Maradi just kind of detect magic bot all the other Karens during the time? Because he's not really doing anything right now.
Yeah, I guess so. And to shorten your guys' search, the cairns are all empty of magical items. The Raven Rock itself has a similar aura underneath it.
Oh, joy!
Fuck.
Called it.
You said the Raven
except-
Rock itself.
Except
I mean-
that one has conjuration coming from it.
So,
Well, guess I'm digging some more. We did
I
have
would
it
laugh so hard if we
foresight to
were
double
supposed
check
to,
it.
like, become friends with the Raven, and then it would, like, show us a way to get this item without having to desecrate or dig under a 100-foot statue.
That would be funny.
Anyway, so what time?
I'm going to
What's
cry.
the daylight situation looking like?
Sorry about that, fellas.
Welcome back. You
We
missed
found a
the
bone.
epic 5-hour digging session to get
Yup.
this
Oh.
thing out.
What were the
We'll
noises?
summarize it
And
afterwards.
they've done nothing but complain the entire 5 hours.
It's fucking cold out here.
Get back to work.
All right, but I won't stop complaining.
That's your right as a laborer.
Understandable.
What were the noises?
Oh, also, Kuba tried to identify it, and the weapon almost killed him.
there was a weapon.
The club.
The
We
big
found the
club.
club.
You found the club. Oh, okay.
Yes.
And
And
now we
now,
gotta dig up the Raven Rock.
yes. So
So we
essentially
do
what
have to
happened,
dig up the ring.
extremely truncated. Magic under altar, dig under altar club. Magic found under rock. We're digging under rock.
Okay, gotcha.
Start digging under rock. Actually, do we have? We should have a tent, right? Or are we
Yeah.
just sleeping
I
in
have
the
a
cold?
tent, at the very least.
Maradi has my tent.
It's a two-person tent actually, Mateus. So
Well, you guess you have your wish of not sleeping next to Creek.
Oh, right. We figured that the altar shows the symbols of the moon, so we think he might be cursed with some type of lycanthropy. Or I
Oh.
guess avianthropy?
Bearthropy. Anyway, start digging.
Okay. Anybody wanna help him dig?
Ursynthropy.
I'll help him dig. In fact,
Also,
is
while I'm doing this, I'll apologize to the Raven, who could probably crush me with one tilt.
Yeah, it's like as you're digging, the Raven Rock just falls on you.
Quick, attuned to the Raven Rock.
Well, it takes about 2.5 hours. Both of you digging through that frozen ground, but you are able to find, after exhausting yourselves, getting this thing dug up and excavated, piece of what looks like a round circle of slag.
Well,
Start
that's
touching
probably
it.
the magma ring then.
And if Marathi ritual cast detect magic, indeed that thing is emanating the conjuration magic. Marathi, we've been playing you on autopilot for a little
Okay.
bit. You're just the detect magic bot.
Now
That's
here's the question I got for you. The last thing, it kind of made sense when it shrunk. It didn't have any kind of real issue. But this one has a giant amount of dirt in between the circle, like in the center of the circle. So if it was to shrink, what would happen to all that dirt?
Would be pushed out like a slinky getting shrinked in.
I've never heard of a slinky that shrinks.
Shrink a slink.
The truth
Shrinky
is, it was called the
Slinky
Shrinky,
dink.
but the guy had a really bad speech impediment.
Anyway, I will allow you an Arcana roll to see if you can identify this thing, Marathi.
Just
Okay.
Marathi? Okay.
Unfortunately, Arcana.
See, I
isn't
have
strong
been
suit.
rolling like you.
You're right. You're
Well,
absolutely
I'm gonna
right.
start digging to the side so I can actually get this thing out. How
Yeah, I'll help
big?
him.
Can I like make an int check to see to guess how big this kind of like the
Do
circumference
you know the
of it would be?
curvature of the circle?
Well, that's why I need to make an int
It's
check.
size for a giant's finger, so I'm going to guesstimate it's about 2 feet in diameter.
Okay.
Okay.
And, like, put your
If
arm
I
through
spend an hour, can I identify this and not attune to it?
Identifying item.
I think it's learn magic properties, but like the actual.
Only a short rest, you can get an intuitive understanding of how to activate new magical properties of the item, including necessary command words. Identifying magic item. Yeah, I guess you could. It'll take another hour, though.
I mean, they're probably gonna be digging for
I
a
got
while.
time.
Yeah, me too.
Unless they dig it out in faster than an hour, then we can just unearth it and go.
I mean, it's not nearly as cumbersome as that club.
Okay, so
This
it might
one
go
would
faster.
only take a couple minutes to unhinge and start poking out all the excess dirt.
Okay, then yeah, we're not gonna take the hour then. We can do that while we're actually resting.
And
Yeah,
just to
so
make
this
sure,
isn't really a magma ring to you, more like a magma hula hoop.
That's what I was like. I've been calling it that this whole time.
Yeah.
So once we have it uncovered, I'll try to figure it. Like, did you know what the identify? Oh wait, no, it doesn't take an hour. Never mind. So yeah, we'll dig it out. How long does that take?
Did a few
I'd say
minutes.
it takes about 5 minutes to dig it out.
Okay.
Much
So,
nicer than the
2
5
feet.
hours Marathi caused.
Mind if I try checking it out?
That's fine.
I'll put my.
I just
hand on
figured
it
I
for
wasn't-
an hour. Actually, I'll
Oh
just have it
no!
on
Can
my-
we just start traveling or something, and then
Yeah,
when
can we
you're
get
going to
outta here?
sleep, we can figure out what's going on? Or
also,
I mean,
better
it's
yet-
pretty dark at this point.
by the way, what's the blimp doing?
It's
Is it just-
safely a distance away.
Okay, well let's start making our way back to the
figure
blimp.
we can signal them.
We can
Yeah,
just
there's
go
rock.
back to
Hold
them.
the rock.
But yes,
Alright.
as you make your way away from Raven Rock,
Also, I
in,
would recommend hiding that great club.
the distance, I was interrupted by a heathen who's about to be hit by lightning.
Zap.
Speaking of heathens, fill up the hole, guys.
You can't say that as you're leaving.
Well, I'm
Oh,
saying
you
like
just fill up the hole as I make my way down from this cliff.
Can't you cast like Unseen Servant or something to do that?
Unseen servant. That's just Creek with a gag.
no, that's just Creek
Wait,
with
that's
me
unheard,
turned
sir.
around.
Anyway, as you leave Raven Rock, a piercing howl splits your ears, joined by 4 more, but you don't see any creatures.
Well, we
Is
pissed
there
off
like
a god.
nature or Arcana to identify those screams?
Give me nature.
Okay.
All of us.
Sure.
Womp
You all
Yeah,
heard it.
good.
Sounds
All of
like
us.
Marathi, you think it's some sort of big wolf or giant dog, something around like that?
So
lot of
we're
them.
going to be hunted.
And nothing new there.
But let's get as
Not
far
the
away from
first
here as
time.
possible.
You can board
Agreed.
the airship without incident.
No, perfect.
Cool.
Where do you want to go now?
To
Uh,
sleep.
We were going to,
Actually,
if we could look at the handout
you
he
like-
had given me.
Would you like the world map as well?
I think we're okay. I think do we want to stop by a town or just want to head straight south
we're gonna head
east
to
to
the,
Morgar's Mound?
I'd like to actually, before we do anything else, I'd like to ask any of the crew if they are magically gifted enough to be able to figure out what's wrong with me.
They'll shake their heads and say none of us have any magical acumen.
Okay.
What kind of cult doesn't have at least one?
This is
They,
a
magical
they probably
cult.
do. They're just not on this airship. You really think that's all they have?
No,
you
but if
think
they-
this is our only airship?
No, but if they have a group of people, you would think they'd have one in case something bad happened.
I mean, shit,
the
we
airship's
didn't.
for it.
I'm pretty sure that's why we're here.
You do realize that two of us can cast cure wounds, right?
He's not talking about his physical ailments, Shell. He's talking about the curse.
His spiritual
That's
ailments.
clearly-
There's
put on
something
him.
wrong with me in the magic zone.
Show us
Your
on the
magic
doll
ability
where
is
the
not
ghost
out of
touched
luck.
you.
Ooh.
All right, so I think I'd be okay with going to Morgar's Mound and then to the Shining White, like just bouncing across. But at the same time, if people need to stop by a town, we always go.
I would like to stop by somewhere and get looked at by a
I mean,
priest.
we could stop at Luskan, but that's a terrible idea. That town's filthy.
Also, do we have the funds to do that?
I just
probably
want to know
not.
if
Well,
something
I mean,
wrong.
there's identifying it and curing it, so two different things.
True, but there's probably
Identifying it
some
might
kind
not
of cost.
necessarily cost anything.
There's probably going to be a cost.
Well,
we won't know
ask.
until we actually do it. So we could probably even go to Mirabar. It's a little out of the way, but you know.
You know a certain cleric who seems friendly to you in Mirabar.
I thought he
Exactly.
hated us because I got him struck by lightning.
Yeah, but he also
Yeah,
got
but he
the
also got a
business.
huge amount of followers, so I think that makes up for it.
Fair
Right.
enough. Have a nice day.
All
What's the
right, so
plan,
are we gonna stop in
lads?
Mirabar first?
I'm okay with that. It's a little bit out of the way, but
Yeah,
Mirabar it
we
is.
know someone in Mirabar.
Also,
there it is.
I'm trusting Mateus to do the talking.
take us to Mirabar, please.
Okay,
Choo
we're
choo.
headed back to Mirabar. Boop, 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 boop. Takes about a day.
I sleep.
Oh, can we
I'd
identify
keep
the
an eye
ring?
out for the.
Yes, in that time you can identify the ring. Ring.
Does it shrink?
Oh,
no,
you're
because
tuning.
you're not attuned to it. It requires attunement to shrink.
Oh, I would have attuned to it.
Oh,
Oh,
by the way,
okay.
can I while we're on the way, can I attune to that great club?
Oh, sure. Yeah, here you go.
Yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
can
the Great
attune to
Club
the
is
Great
magical. It sizes to the wearer and it does 2d8 extra to dragon. Whoa!
And it's always magic.
Let's not
Oh,
mention
no.
any of that here.
You don't know that anymore.
But yes, the ring. Good. I closed the Raven Rock thing where all that information
Wait,
is.
where'd you see the information on the club? I didn't get that.
We tuned it. He told us it.
He attuned to it by
It was
accident.
something that we went over when you were still away.
Oh,
Great
yes.
clubs are. Actually, can I just? Is there a handout for it, or is?
I think
or
it's
is it just-
2d6 for great clubs, or 1d10.
I'm pretty sure it's a d10, but
I'll look up the great club stats.
1d8 two-handed. It's a simple weapon. So it's not going to be much help unless you need magic or you need dragon
Slamming
killing.
a dragon.
What's
Yeah.
the range?
It's
I
a great
Melee.
5
It's
feet,
a
okay.
great club.
standard weapon range.
Yeah.
Like your great sword.
The
Can be
magic
augmented by your
bonus.
noodly arms. But yes,
You're
the ring.
horrifying.
The ring shrinks to fit your index finger. The warm orange light spills from minuscule cracks that form on its outer surface.
Hmm.
It has 6 charges, and you can expend 1 charge to cast Conjure Minor Elementals, summoning either 4 Magma Mephits or 4 Magmins.
Wow.
You can also cast a charge. You can also spend a charge to cast Fire Shield, warm version only. Once the charges are spent, it loses its spellcasting properties but retains its resizing ability. It does not recharge.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
Well, 4 elementals is pretty good.
It
Yeah.
is, but interesting how it's not
Theoretically, if the
used
fight
any.
lasts long enough, you can have a small platoon-size army of elementals.
You mean a suicide squad? Because magmins are the ones
Yeah.
that explode on death.
Yep, you've already fought Magnets, I think.
I remember. They were under the fire giants
Yep, they lit the forest on fire.
and the houses.
They're precocious
That's
little
all.
lads.
Boys will be boys.
Hopefully, I don't have to use this thing.
Probably get more use out of the fire shield. It's pretty useful.
All right. Anything else we're resolving?
I mean, we're going to Mirabar, so
Yeah, we're going to Mirabar. We got to the city.
Toot, toot.
this is you now.
Oh yeah.
We had my little bit of characterization where I caused a priest physical bodily harm.
This may happen again. So am I going alone, or is the rest of the party coming with?
You going back to the Church of Lathander?
This is gonna be awkward. It's only been a day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna miss this.
I'm not
I'll
going.
go.
They don't recognize me. Or they do recognize me. That's why I'm not going.
Well, you're not blue anymore, so maybe that's suitable disguise. Okay, so yeah, you can go to the Church of Lathander. However, there's a line as people are crowding to get inside the doors.
Religion.
I don't think that's how religions usually work, but
Well, there's a sermon going on, and there's no sitting room anymore. People are trying to crane their heads to hear the vaunted words of the now elevated beyond imagining Abbot of Lathander, who continues to perform miracles on behalf of his god.
well, good for him.
You want to wait?
It's either we wait or we do something. Marani, how good are you? How good are you at staging performances?
What? Wait, what?
Enter the chapter where you make an enemy out of the Church of Lathander, on top of what other weird shit you've been experiencing.
Actually, I'm still feeling like ass, aren't I?
You just feel... You don't feel right when you're not on sure ground. I guess that's really how you're feeling. When you're on the airship, you especially felt pretty terrible.
But like right now on the ground, like on the.
I mean, you're okay on the ground, and also you never felt like physically debilitated
Yeah.
while in the airship. You just don't feel good.
All right.
Hey,
Actually,
Marani.
in that case, is there a wizard? Is there a wizard or something in Mirabar who could
There are
possibly
plenty of
like
wizards in Mirabar. You can
Okay,
go to any
rephrasing.
apothecary or potion shop.
someone who deals in maladies and illnesses.
There's a potion seller. I'm going
Gonna have
into
to fo-
battle.
Is that the
I'm-
alchemist I went to identify the potion of climbing?
Yeah, you can reference that handy dandy label on that very bottle and say, hey, you should go see this guy.
Does Shao just keep showing it off to people? Like, check out this sick bottle.
Do you have a punch card where you're like, every 5 people I send, I get a free healing potion?
Referral card.
Yeah.
I would take that
Bubbles.
deal. God damn.
I'm
Yeah.
Commander Shepard.
And this
This
is
is
my
my
favorite place on
favorite
the
shop
Citadel.
at the Citadel.
Anyway,
So I guess we'll trot on over to the alchemist while the sermon is going on.
they'll say, hello, can I interest you in a potion of magical properties?
Preferably one that cures diseases. I don't know what the problem is, but I seem to be having some sort of. What does it mean? But when you get really sick, really high in the air.
The
Altitude sickness?
heebie-jeebies.
The Mile High Chuck.
Are you here?
He'll say, if you don't know what's wrong with you, I can try to identify it, but that's a service.
What's the cost?
Identification would cost you 20 gold pieces, non-refundable.
Too rich for my blood.
You
but
have 20 gold pieces?
I
I have
do.
15 gold pieces.
I
Hell
do.
did you
I
they,
do
have,
they
with your
spent a lot
money?
of money.
I have
when
eight-
they
I have
went to that
85, 'cause I
town.
You
bought
know, healing
virtually
potions
nothing.
and not dying.
Was that Greek?
I-
You're gonna,
I'll
you're gonna throw
I'll
the money
cough
at him?
up.
Okay. He is going to come back with a wand and say, hold still, please. And after waving the wand, he's going to furrow his brow and say, 20 gold pieces up front. You seem exceptionally cursed, young lad.
That's why I paid him.
What a terrible
Many
night for Chris.
sources. One of them seems to be some sort of a compulsion.
Yeah,
there
we know
is
about
a
that.
Geos on him. We
Yeah,
did
I
know
know all
about
about that.
actually. There's
What's the
another
other
one
one?
more recent.
I'm not gonna
than that.
ask why you guys know he is
You don't
magically
need to know.
compulsed. You didn't. I'm not being paid for being nosy. The other one
It
is
was a bet.
The other one is particularly powerful. Something only desecration or some sort of other affront to a primal god might be able to incur. That would require something beyond a potion. You would need a wish.
Well,
Oh my god.
However, I do know what it does, if that helps.
That would
Yeah,
be helpful.
certainly.
You're supposed to play it coy, guys. Now he knows you want the information.
Yeah. Well, you already paid me up front, so I guess I have no reason to hide the reason from you. This is a very old Uthgard curse. I imagine you've desecrated the Raven statue.
Not the Raven statue per se, but go
He
on.
killed a bird.
Yes, I've seen this happen. You know, Raven Rock is kind of a place where the younger folk of Mirabar go and dare each other to piss off
Must be
the
quite cold.
barbarians.
Must be quite cold to fuck in the snow.
Oh, they don't do anything romantic. These are just shitty kids.
Wait, you're not even here.
They're saying like, bet you can't.
You
steal
hear
an
from
egg,"
out
or,
the
"Bet you
window."
can't- Bet you can't. You know, throw a good berries at whatever kids do these days.
Good berries are very important.
This is
Kids
a
are
cur-
well known for being druids.
It's called the curse of broken wings around here. Nothing will be able to make you fly.
Oh. Well, that explains
Alright.
a bit.
Yeah,
bit.
so
is-
just the fly spell doesn't work on him, or any
Any
variation?
kind of way to make him leave the ground, be it anti-gravity or floating or flight.
Hey, try
in
jumping up and
general.
down.
His
I'm not going
legs
to do
just
that.
break.
Oh my
Ah!
god, the curse is real.
You try to jump?
No. I just give Shal a look and
You have to lift your legs to walk sometime.
He can't shuffle this entire
I'm not gonna
trip.
jump up and down. That's dumb.
See, the curse is real.
It's already in his mind. If he
But,
jumps, he's just gonna say like it. Basically, anything that will give him a reason to fly or float won't work. Just
Okay.
won't.
That's
So
kind
do
of
you
Even-
know how to fix that other than a wish, like some offering to the raven or something?
I don't know if the primal Raven God would ever want to see him again.
Yeah.
I mean, what happens? So you just think a number of the town is just cursed with this curse for all time?
No, if you can afford a wish, you can
Yeah.
certainly break it. You just need magic of
Is this
very
curse
high quality.
recessive? So, like, will he pass it along to his kids?
You mean dominant?
That's the one.
My bug babies?
Sorry, I'm just a curse carrier. I have to find someone else who also is a curse carrier, or is a curse, or is a curse progenitor. But no, it's pretty much centered around this particular individual.
Well,
Oh,
win some,
That's-
lose some flight.
that's not the worst prognosis I've heard. Well, thank you very much for your time.
What is the worst prognosis? Was it the one that told you had really weird arms?
No, it was the one that told me that I had a year to find a cloud giant.
Oh,
Stares
yeah.
at Maradi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you have preferred being hunted alive by powerful spellcasters? I'll make sure to leave you to that fate next time, and I start walking back to the airship.
I
This has
have
been
already
sassy.
learned way too much about your party to be comfortable with. Now, please
Oh,
leave
don't
before
worry.
some sort of divine authority comes by asking for you.
If you
No, no, no,
that
no.
does actually
Leave.
happen, just
That
tell
way-
them.
Out of my shop.
Now we leave.
But tell your friends how good I am at identifying you.
Don't worry, I've been using your potion bottle stopper thing.
Hasn't used the potion yet, but
Anything else you want to do to Mirabar while you're here?
Well, that's kind of goofy. All right.
I
No, but
mean,
like-
really,
but
it's a
like-
double-edged sword because that means you can never be hit by an anti-gravity field.
Oh no, that's good. Well, for all those anti-gravity fields we'll deal with, that'll be perfect.
It's gonna fucking happen, and I am going to rub your face in that shit for like 15 minutes straight.
I mean, I don't really have anything else I can do here. I don't have cash, and we don't really have much to sell other than the hammer. Which
Then let's go to the mound, Maker's Mound, Mogre's
Actually,
Mound.
If I was to show the potion seller the gem, would they be interested in it?
You can't make a
the
potion out of a
ruby?
gem.
'Cause I don't really know what I would do with this gem.
Don't worry, it's not cursed or anything.
I can see that. I am a wizard.
I thought you
You
were an
seem to be
alchemist.
some sort of man of the wild. I'm sorry, demon of the wilds. I know how you could be particular about that.
I appreciate you acknowledging the difference.
Well, Tiefling money is just as good as any other money around here.
Debatable.
But
They have the fool's gold, right?
I could use it to power a spell. Nothing really. I could inscribe it into a scroll. I could trade you a couple wands.
I like that wands idea.
What I have in here.
Is it time for the group Wand of Magic Missile? Alright, everyone, take aim. On 3, fire all 7 charges.
Just one
It's
hit.
at the end of an episode of Power Rangers, we all just group around the one wand and fire.
And then pose dramatically.
How do you think it fires? You have to pose dramatically, or else it doesn't work.
Yeah, but there's also a victory pose that they always do.
Right, but that's 2 poses. You forgot the necessary primary pose.
Alternatively, we can use them for some kind of weird magical transformation.
You'll pull out a staff and says, "This is probably the one thing I could see that is equitable for both you and me. If considering if you had a warlock or a sorcerer or a wizard that could use it.
We might have someone who could use it. What's it do?
This is a staff of power.
Go on.
I don't want to explain this twice. Is your sorcerer, warlock, or wizard actually here?
He's out the window.
I'm the one talking shit from out here.
Just have his top hat peeking out the window.
Well, okay. Here's the
What's
sell.
that,
Here's the
Wilson?
hard sell. It's a staff that can be wielded as a magic quarterstaff. Gets a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. While holding it, you get +2 to AC, saving throws, and spell attack rolls.
Go on.
It has 20 charges for the following properties. It regains 2d8 +4 expended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, roll a d20. On a 1, the staff retains its +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls, but loses all other properties. On a 20, the staff regains 1d8 +2 charges. Power Strike. You hit with a melee attack using the staff, you expend 1 charge to deal an extra 1d6 force. Spells. You can use an action to expend 1 or more of its charges to cast one of the following spells from it using your spell save DC and spell attack bonus. Cone of Cold, 5 charges. Fireball, 5th level, 5 charges. Globe of Invulnerability, 6 charges. Old Monster, 5 charges. Levitate, 2 charges. Lightning Bolt, 5th level, 5 charges. Magic Missile, 1 charge. Ray of Enfeeblement, 1 charge. Or Wall of Force, 5 charges.
I think
pretty
Maradi
sure
is just frothing at the mouth right now.
Maradi, you mean me?
Yeah,
He can
Matthias.
use that. He's a bard.
Yeah, no, I went
was
to the
about to say-
airship.
I
Like-
mean,
Retributive Strike. You can use an action to break the staff over your knee
Oh no.
or against a solid surface. The staff is destroyed and releases its remaining magic in an explosion that expands to fill a 30-foot radius sphere centered on it. You have a 50% chance to instantly travel to a random plane of existence, avoiding the explosion. If you fail
Okay,
to
it has
avoid
an
if you
amazing
don't want that,
staff.
can I have
Panic
that?
button.
If you fail to avoid the effect, you take force damage equal to 16 times the number of charges in the
Oh.
staff.
Jesus
And
Christ.
so does
That's
every
one hell of a
creature.
panic button. I'll take it.
Every other creature in the area must make a DC 17 dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes an amount of damage based on how far away it is from the point of origin, as shown in the following table. On a system save, creatures half much. So, yeah, it's very much a nuclear option.
Yeah, I
staff.
can tell. Jesus Christ.
Well, it sounds good to me. How about you, Mateus?
Oh, yes. Make the deal, shall.
All right.
I don't know
so-
what you're paying for it,
I'm
but
just imagining you like popping your head out the window, still like, yeah.
Here's
do
the
it.
here's the link to that item in case you want to write all that down.
yeah, I might need some time.
Oh,
He will
requires
say-
attunement by a
He
sorcerer or
will say
warlock.
right now the
Yep.
staff only has one charge in it, but it will regenerate over time.
That is fine. I should just use it right now, right?
Bah!
Just cast a magic
Let's
missile
just
into
get the nat
Maraude.
20.
Not gonna
Me too.
lie, I really wish that I could use that just because I could just bash someone really hard with the staff and deal force damage to him.
I
Or you
will
do the
end
nuclear
you.
option.
I can't. No, I can't attune to it. Like it's literally impossible for me to do.
Well,
it.
you're
I
doing business with
know,
you.
but
So
Also, do you
let's
happen
see.
to have any kind of
Hold on,
nice-
that's what is it? 220 damage maximum.
no 320.
320. Yeah, so that's you could end a lot of things using that stat.
Including yourself.
You have a one. Yeah, it's a one on. It's a
It's
coin flip to
50-50
get
chance
So wait,
to
you
not
can end up
die.
back-
a
breaks it
random
with-
dimension.
If a staff breaks in any way, right?
No, it's an
No, he
actual
has to
action.
specifically snap it over his knee.
Or against a solid surface.
does the tune person be the only one that does that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I was gonna say
Like, if,
someone
if,
else could
if
do
it just
that.
explodes when broken, then fuck that.
Yeah.
But
A
yeah,
wizard
you also
can't
have
just
any kind of
teleport
fancy
next to you, break the staff, and hope for
Teleports
the
next
best.
to you.
What was
you
that?
have any
Teleports
fancy,
behind you, breaks your
paraphernalia
staff.
for your shop to show off this fancy weapon?
No, I keep it in the back. Why the hell would I want to show that off?
Well, no, have something like the stopper here with the engraved.
Before we make this transaction, though, that stone wasn't magical, right?
No, the ruby was
The
just a
giant
regular
ruby?
old ruby.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it was
a
just-
fucking huge ruby.
Okay. I'm okay with it then. Like, as long as we didn't hand him, like, the nuclear button super artifact for a staff. I don't know, man.
Little did they know.
I mean, it might be used to release some demon or dragon monster god, but that's not on
I may
our
have to come
fault.
back to Mirabar to see what happens next.
Yes. But
Oh well. As far
little
as
do
I'm
they
concerned, this was a
know,
decent
I
deal.
have the staff of power.
Step
It doesn't seem to
up.
work.
The power.
Legitimately, though, if I actually get that, I am very, very pleased.
Yeah, I'm selling.
Wait, the staff?
No, the ruby.
That's my staff.
Okay.
I'll kill you.
All right, excellent. This is gonna bode well for everyone.
There you go. Now you got a cane for that top hat. The set is complete.
That's what you care about.
Now start singing, putting on the Ritz.
If all I have to do is debase myself to get this staff, I will gladly do it. My character, not me.
I'll try to, and I think we should end it here so I can prepare for the next.
I think
Sure.
that's good. We're going towards
Alright.
Morger's Mound next. I
I
believe.
heard Morger's Mound, so I'm
Yeah.
Yes.
already researching it. So good.
Perfect.
We'll
Well,
end it there.
Thank you for that. That is going to be very fun for me. But now I've got to. It gives me +2 to hit with spells. Now I got to start working on actually attacking and not using saves. Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Woe is me.
Yep.
You have
All
to
right.
attack like normal people.
Have a good night, everyone.
Wrong, folks.